Let's see if this is going through. Perfect. It just keeps going on and over again. Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. Mindful Pig here. And I first like to apologize that the stream is a day late. Yesterday I was just really exhausted, in all honesty. I got home and I was just so tired. I ended up passing out the minute I got home. And then I woke up, like I guess it was 5 minutes before the podcast, and I was just out of it. I knew I was completely out of it. I was in no state of mind to have a conversation. So sorry. Today we're doing it on a Wednesday. Oh, sorry, I got the blanket stuck underneath me. Okay, so the only bad thing is about like 30 minutes or so. I just have to open up the door so I could grab Shannon's skip order. Um, but yeah, other than that, we should have no interruptions. um, Lordy. Okay, let me think here. What I want to talk about. Obviously, I had an extra day, so I did get to play one extra game. Um, okay, yeah, I think I have an idea of everything I played this past week. Okay, so let's start with Wednesday. So Wednesday was Skyrim, which is also today. Um, last time I had to break down. I think last time I was continuing off where I died the time before that, where I pretty much like lost 20 minutes of gameplay, which kind of sucked, right? But whatever, it is what it is. It's my fault. I should have been saving in Skyrim. Um, and I was just starting the quest for Azura. So I think I got to Azura's tower. I talked to the whatchamacallit, priestess that was there, and then I went to the location where Azura's star was. And then after that, um, I got to trying to think. Okay, that's okay. So that's where I left off at, and in this stream, I was continuing. Yeah, from Azura's star, like the cavern, um, all the way into like the area where the star was located, and I went all the way back to the shrine. I cashed to the star, and that's when I was about to start the next quest. I ended my stream off where I was in the town, and this courier came up to me and said one of the Jarls would like to speak with me. So I was like, okay, cool. You know what? The game's interacting with me. I'm going to follow this quest and do that one next. But the funny part was at the beginning of this stream, I forgot what I was doing. Like, I don't know, a week just felt so long. Like, it really felt so long since I played Skyrim. It really wasn't. Like, I just played it last Wednesday. But yeah, I don't know. Just felt like a long time in between those two game sessions. So I ended up um, just kind of walking towards the check mark. I don't know why I didn't even open my quest log. I should have. I did. I said I'd find Azura Star, but I couldn't remember that I actually unlocked the area, so I thought I had to walk there. That's how it went down. So like a couple minutes of walking, literally a couple minutes, dragon fucking appears and starts shooting at me, right? And I was able to take him down. And it was one of those moments. I then saw a giant by himself. Didn't realize till the second time I fought that same giant that he had a buddy there the whole time. But anyway, yeah. So first time I find the giant, I got a little bit cocky because I was doing the rock trick. So if you don't know, try to find like a medium-sized boulder in Skyrim, and pretty much a giant can't hit you. Like you could just, lap around it. But because he's slow enough, you could still get a few shots in him. So it takes a little bit longer, right, to kill. Like if you're looking for a fast kill, it's not going to happen that way. But like it's definitely a safe kill. You know what I mean? And when you're under level 10, you want all the safe kills you can get. So, yeah, so anyway, I got a little cocky and he ended up hitting me with his hammer. And as you're aware, the minute he hits you with that bloody club, it's game over. It's pretty much instant death. So, went back, fought the same dragon again. Did better this time fighting that dragon, though, because I knew what his weaknesses were, or at least where my strengths were. Then I went to go fight that giant, not realizing he had a buddy. Then the two of them came at me. I ended up picking a different hill to go at. So the hill I picked, they basically couldn't walk up it. So they would stand there for a few seconds and they would, wander off. And as you come down the hill and you get back onto the main ground, the AI would kick in again. It would come in trying to attack you. And then again, right, you would just go up the hill and keep doing this till you basically beat the bad guy. So that tactic worked really well. Sorry, I'm just finishing up the rest of my Red Bull. Yeah, so we ended up doing all that. We got an Azura Star, which is really good. So basically, Azura Star allows you to, if I remember correctly, sorry, I can soul trap as much as I want now, so I can have like an endless supply of souls, basically. Um, and then yeah, what that helps you with is basically enchanting. Like I never have to worry now when I'm enchanting. That bad boy will be filled forever. So that's really cool. I'm actually excited about that. I want to get all the Daedra artifacts though, so that my character's like a god by the time I'm done. And I like that the NPCs in the game are reacting that I have it too. Like, is that a zero star? I was like, oh shit. I really like them all Elder Scrolls games. The older ones did it, but not to the same degree that I noticed that Skyrim does. Like Skyrim really takes notice when you finish a quest of some sort, which is really neat. Um, so now we're rewinding to Tuesday, which I did do the podcast, which is yesterday, sorry. But I did, because I woke up, right? I was like, okay, I'm going to be up for a little bit because Cheyenne wants to hang out too, right? And watch a movie. So we were watching King Kong, which you already watched a few times. So, like there's certain parts I like watching, and there's other parts like, okay, it's just a build up. So in between those build up parts, I was playing on the Switch, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Really, really good, actually. I really enjoyed Link's Awakening. I'm not like far in like that. Like I literally just started this game. I guess I kind of forgot how grindy Zelda games are. So, for example, right, like um, usually if you need an item of some sort, or how can I describe this? Usually, like you always need something. I'm saying it's like you've never played a Zelda game, but if you play a Zelda game, you know what I mean. In the shop, there's usually an item you have to buy, and it's always like a ridiculous amount of rubies. And I just, I just forgot like how long it could take to get those items. 200 rubies doesn't sound like a lot, but you only get one ruby, and the chances of getting rubies are not as crazy as you think. So, for example, you can knock down a blade of grass, and there's a chance a ruby will appear. Pretty often, like generously often enough. I think in actually one of the parts I can go to, an entire screen is filled with grass and shrubs, and when you wipe it all out, I'm pretty sure I got $5 to $6. But I mean, that's an entire like area wiped out just for 5 or 6 rubies. Though I did find you have a better chance with monsters, obviously. But monsters could drop anything. They could drop rubies, they could drop hearts, they could drop little power ups. I noticed that game's really big into power ups, which I thought was kind of cool. Sorry. There's an acorn that I think reduced half my damage taken by an enemy, and then there was a piece of the Triforce that gave me like this really cool power. That one was awesome. The half damage thing I didn't really notice too much. Like I don't know, maybe it wore off by the time I was in the battle where I really needed it. But the power, like on the sword, what do they call it? The piece of the Triforce. That was fucking legendary. Like it was like one hit, and they like blow up and they go flying off to the screen. And because they're flying, they can actually hit another enemy and kill that one. So it's pretty badass, and it lasted a decent while. Nothing crazy, but I'd say it probably lasted a close to a minute or longer, which Zelda games is not crazy long going through each area. Like this is old school Zelda, right? So you got like the box area that you're looking at on your screen, go left to right, up or down, whatever the case is, and it'll switch over to the next, whatever it is, 4x4 square area, right? And it just keeps doing that over and over again as you're going through the level. And I also forgot too that like Zelda games take your time, explore everything, especially the old school ones. And I was kind of just, I don't know if I was stubborn or what was wrong with me, but I didn't notice this one area, and I was zooming through it over and over and over again. And I was like, well, I guess I just have to grind till I can get the shovel. And then I went like a little bit, I don't know, to the right or wherever it was. And I was like, oh crap, there's a whole other area over here. And that really helped me out. I mean, I still need to get the shovel in order to do anything. But still, it was like, at least I got the whole area that I could actually get to right now mapped out, which was nice. I kind of like it. I'm pretty sure I will play that until completion. Um, it's been a while since I played a Zelda game, and I had that craving for it. And I have Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild is great, yada yada yada. But you know what I mean? Like, it's very different from another Zelda game. It stands out, that's for sure. I do want to at least power through a little bit more of it before I truly put that game down, because I did wait a long time to play it, and like it was the main reason I got the Switch. So yeah, I really want to, really need to give that game a better go than what I have. But the other Switch game I have kind of sucks, so that's okay. It's this like little Bulletstorm, I think that's what they call those genres. Basically, you're a spaceship and you're just trying to fly through levels. The bosses are super cool. Like the art style is wicked. The gameplay is just not mine. Like it's one of those games like I would love to play and just make videos and clips of all like the cool bosses you're fighting and stuff like that. That part of it really stands out. I can't handle Bulletstorms. I can't navigate through that bullshit. Like I really really can. It's so hard. Like kudos to anyone that can play those games. But my eyes and my reflexes are not as good. Um, yeah, it's a hell of a time. Hey Tommy, I played a couple older ones, some my own Majora's Mask and beat it. Nice, nice. I always wanted to play Majora's Mask. That's one sadly I never got to play. I beat Ocarina of Time myself, and sadly, I think that's the only Zelda game I actually beat was Ocarina of Time. I've played a lot. Like I played Wind Waker, I played Twilight Princess, I played the old like first Zelda on original Nintendo. But yeah, I haven't beaten any of them minus Ocarina of Time. I was just so dedicated to that one. Just because it was so unique, you know what I mean? Like that was a beautiful game for that timeline. Um, yeah, so that's what I did yesterday. Instead of being on the stream, doing the podcast. Like I said, I was really, really tired. I may sound like I was playing a lot, but I was like that was literally an hour of gameplay, and then I was like, okay, bedtime. um, Monday was Apex, which kind of sucked because Apex had this huge update, and I ended up not getting to play with 2.6 as long as I would like to. So that was kind of annoying. Plus, too, like just how much it takes over. Like, I really need to get an external drive, like ASAP Rocky, because I'm pretty much deleting a lot of my games in order just to keep like Genshin and stuff like that on there. So I need to definitely switch up my plans and stop buying more games right now and buying over what do you call it, an external drive. Um, okay, so Sunday was obviously nothing. I just played whatever with Cheyenne. We usually always play a game of some sort. Usually it's golf with friends. Um, Saturday, I was editing. That's right. Yeah, Saturday I was editing pretty much the entire day. Um, I probably played a little bit more of Shadow of Mordor because I was really enjoying it from Friday, which leads us into Friday. So Friday was Shadow of Mordor. Really, 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 really love that game. It is absolutely fantastic. I I don't get how people can enjoy that game. In all honesty, it is just an open sandbox to just do whatever you want and make your own. What you call it? Make your own like journey. You know what I mean? Like anyone could be your boss. Like you could literally let someone beat the crap out of you and go up through the ranks and then take them on when they're a warlord. Like it's so cool. Or you could just explore the entire area, just have fun with it. Like it is a really really cool game, and plus it's Lord of the Rings, so it's a little bit more of that lore. I'm not like a big Lord of the Rings fan, but I definitely like it enough for if I'm getting a little bit more of that world, a little more about oh my god, I forgot his name. I was gonna say Salamander, but it's not Salamander. Suron, whatever his name is. You know what I mean? The dude with the eye. Getting to see a little more of him and his impact on the entire world that it takes place in is just really cool. Sorry, Tom. You said I saw you on Apex last night. Brand flakes, some brand flavor, and some brand taste. I really suck in that game. Like I love it. I like playing it. Um, but it's so hard. It's so hard to be good in those games. It's probably like obviously I only play like every month or so. So if I put a little more effort into it, I'm sure I could get a little bit better at it, where I'm not just not getting any kills. But yeah, it is what it is for now. What it is bullshit. I'm really glad you like the Lord of the Rings game. I was gonna say, Tommy, I don't know if you looked or not, but PlayStation has a sale on right now. I was just checking out myself, and if you are a PlayStation Plus member, I think you get additional percentage off. But Lord of the Rings was on there, the one I was playing, for only $2.75. I'm not sure if the difference in the States might even be cheaper in the States, or might be $1 more. But still, that is a ridiculously good deal, considering the fact I spent $20 to buy the game. So definitely well worth it. And you saw the gameplay, you know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. I think you would like it a lot too. Like it'd be very interesting watching you play that game as well, because you could approach things differently. You know what I mean? Like I was doing it one way, but you could do it a completely different way. There was one version of killing guys I didn't show you yet, where you could literally poison their, I guess it's like their beer or their drink of choice for alcohol. But the orcs will leave this one area. There'll be a giant pot, and you can go to that pot and pour poison in there, and then you just stand on the rooftop and you kind of just watch, and everyone just slowly dies. It's so funny. It's like it's a really cool way to wipe out an entire base. I'll put it that way. I don't know if you saw or not too, but you could use wildlife, right? So I was shooting open gates, and those gates would summon, packs of dogs. I think you also get the ability. Maybe it's not the ability, but there is ways to throw like raw meat in a village, and then that'll attract wildlife. This is exactly why I love Far Cry. Everyone's trying to describe to me games similar to Shadow of Mordor, and I think Far Cry is probably the one that is the best. I know JW said Assassin's Creed, but I feel like the way Far Cry handles things, the way this game handles things, they're very similar. Which is why it really sucks that the creators of Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War won't allow other games to use the Nemesis system. So that was a system where something kills you and eventually becomes like your boss that you have to fight against. I think in Far Cry that would be a huge benefit. I think that would really make that game go up one more notch level. Yeah, next chance I could go out on getting a PSN card. Oh, nice, Tommy. Okay. Did you have a game you wanted to buy? Is that where you're going to go out and grab one? You always pick really exciting games to play. Which Far Cry would I recommend the most? So basically I played 2, 3, 4, and Far Cry Primal. I played a little bit of 6, right, but not enough to really give you any kind of opinion on that game, because I only played an hour's worth. If I was going to stick on the mainstream side, I would say Far Cry Primal, because it's recommended by lots of people. You know what I mean? Like, usually when you talk about Far Cry, everyone's played Primal. They all loved it. It was a great series, etc., etc. For me personally, as much as I loved 3, I think Far Cry 4 has been the best Far Cry I played so far. It's just, not only is it like really engaging, like the bad guy, it's disappointing, right? Yes, he's going to be a lot on the radio. You don't get to have many interactions with him, but it's the world that they created in there that's just so much fun. Like, you know me, it's not often I want 100% a game, and I'm literally like plugging at this game like an hour every so often, just so I can 100% it. And it's like every time I go back into there, there's something different that I'm really enjoying. Like the last thing I unlocked was the arena, and the arena, as you continue to play it, right, you could pick, it looks like different paths. So you could pick like the shotgun path, the pistol pack, whatever version you want to go with, and it lets you upgrade those weapons as you're beating that arena challenge. So that's really cool. That was a brand new feature that they didn't add in. And just again, like there's just a lot of really cool missions. It's fun riding an elephant instead of just a car. Um, they gave you a lot of different approaches again too on how to handle an enemy's base. I was really enjoying that. Yeah, just it's really good. It's really good. I'm excited to beat it and try Far Cry 5. Um, I do want to play 6. I definitely want to experience 6, but I've kind of followed that pattern now. I started off with 3, which is odd. And then I tried 2. Didn't like 2 that much. I still want to try 1 just so I know what it was like at the very beginning. And then yeah, so I jumped into 4, loving it. Primal I played and I beat. No, sorry, Primal I'm still trying to 100% as well, actually. I got really far in that game, but it's not completely done yet. But yeah, that's my Far Cry rant. Thanks for my TED Talk. um, okay, so yeah, we did Shadow of Mordor, which is great. I honestly, that's a game I could probably stream for a good 12 hours. So yeah, Wednesday was that. Last Monday. Oh, last Monday was Genshin. Yeah, I already talked about that one. So yeah, that was all my games. I know you would love Meet Your Maker. Wonder if that's on sale. Oh shoot! I should have checked, Tommy. Yeah, I didn't see if it was on sale or not. I mean, I'm gonna warn you now. You're gonna look through that sale list, um, and it's gonna be a little disappointing. Like there is some good games on there. Like you know what I mean. Like when you do come across a good deal, it's like okay, this is pretty decent. But there's a lot of like sports games, you know what I mean? Like the normal things you would expect to be discounted. It's like, okay. Oh look, Skyrim's on sale again. I need to play Meet Your Maker more. Did you like? I'm assuming it has a trophy system and all that. Did you already platinum it, Tommy, or is there still more that you could do in the game? Yeah, you got really excited over that one. You had a pretty decent level that you made. I remember you were telling us. Yeah, yeah. I guess that's pretty much all the games I played recently. Um, what else was I gonna say? Oh, speaking of PlayStation, I was gonna wait for people to pop on, but I got Monsieur Tommy here. Um, if you didn't see yet, they're gonna be increasing. I think it's September, like September 15th. I want to say. I feel like that's the correct date. But basically, they're going to increase the PlayStation tiers by a whole bunch. So at the max level, now to get it, it's about $40 a month, which I think worked out to $159 a year. And then the second level, which I think is the one I have actually, that one's going to be $30 a month, or what is it, $129 a year. And then the base level is going to be $80 a year or $20 a month, which is ridiculous. It is actually ridiculous. To the point where I just feel like I should just play for the base level, just so I can play online with everybody. But like the other levels don't even seem worth it anymore. Like that's so much to pay out every month. You planned it, but they're adding stuff to the game. It looks like a lot of fun. Ooh, that's exciting, Tommy. It's nice when they keep a game going. But yeah, it was kind of a real dick move by PlayStation. Um, I don't know. That just sucks. It just really sucks. It sucks to be. Um, are you talking about the games in the PS Plus? I don't think so, Tommy. But your subscription service that you pay every month has now increased. I was watching who was the Dreamcast guy. He did the review about it, and basically it worked out to a 33% increase, which is outrageous. Like it's mind blowing that they're actually going to try this. Um, yeah, so I'll just say, as a gamer, it sucks, right? Because some of us only have one system, but like in my case, I have all three systems. So I'm paying for Xbox's service, I'm paying for PlayStation's service, I'm paying for Nintendo's service, right? And then, like I was saying on Discord, you're also paying for Netflix and Prime and etc. 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 Um, it's just, yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. Rumors can spread. No, 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 Tommy. It's confirmed. Like this isn't a rumor. Like PlayStation will increase it next month. It's actually how it all came to be, and why it's even more of an outrageous thing is because in your newsletter that talks about the games that are going to be coming out for September, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the newsletter, it goes, "Oh, and by the way, this is going to happen too." So they didn't even bother to tell anyone that they're going to do this. They basically just tried to sneak it in there and get away with it. Yeah, it's 100% not a rumor. This is fact. We're gonna be paying more for our PlayStation subscriptions. Like I said, from the lowest tier now being $20 a month up to the highest being $40 a month, which is just stupid. Like, fuck, who can afford $40 a month? On top of everything else, like I'm saying, they're paying. Like if this was your one bill, okay, not the end of the world. But for everyone else in the world, it is a big deal. Yeah, exactly, Tommy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of money to ask for. It's really stupid, and that's what a lot of people are saying. You're not the only one. A lot of people are saying like, the best way to strike this right now is just to cancel, and let them know that we're not going to take it. The interesting part in all of this too is that they also said, um, oh, fudge. What do I say now? Sorry, the Dreamcast guy also stated that game subscriptions themselves haven't increased. So basically, the amount of subscribers hasn't increased that much. You know what I mean? There might be a few new ones here and there, but it's mostly the same figures. I guess for the past year or however long they calculated it for. Um, so it's like you're not only like it's not like you're doing this because you have like this huge influx of new subscribers. You're just doing this to stab in the loyal fans that you have now, right? Like it doesn't make any sense. Xboxes was annoying when they did it, but I mean, I don't know. It was only $20 at the very max level, so like it was like whatever. I get it. It was going to increase, but yeah, going up to 40, like that's way too much. And for that price, like you literally would have to buy a yearly subscription because it would be pointless to do it by month. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it? At 4 months in, you've already paid the year subscription. Like, that's outrageous. You know what I mean? So 4 months in, you already paid that, and then what is it? Another um, eight? Yeah, 8 more months of additional, costs that you pay. Like that's yeah, it's crazy. They are greedy bastards, 100%. That's as dumb as Nintendo's subscription service. So, like I said before, like the base level that I pay for is $5 a month. Ridiculously good deal, right? You can play online, you can access regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy games. You get Tetris 99, whoop de doo. But you know what I mean? It's a good service. And then your only other option is $64 a month to get like N64 games. Sega Genesis games and Game Boy Advance games. So it's like so stupid. It's like night and day. It's like why would you like where's the middle ground, Nintendo? From $5 to $65 in a month. And that's a month. It's yeah, it's just stupid. I get it. I know there's a lot of games for the N64, but still I'd rather just play my N64. Um Hey Bella, how's it going, buddy? Glad we have Switch. We might get Super Mario Maker 2 and Pokemon Violet. Ooh, nice. I keep forgetting it's better if I'm just on this menu. There we go. Um, I still gotta get some Pokemon games. I mean, they're all the same price too, which kind of sucks, but whatever. It's like, you know what I mean? It's always like $60. There might be some that are on sale. You know, hmm, that might be the games that I'll just buy digital as Pokemon. I'm a big fan of having the physical copies for the old school ones, but yeah, the newer ones I don't really know a lot about the Pokemon in them, so I might just get um, digital copies for those, and then save a few bucks here and there. I haven't played a Pokemon game in a very, very long time. Like I play a lot of knockoff versions, but not the real deal. Christmas is fast approaching. Hell yeah! You have to. I'll have to add you, Tommy. If I keep forgetting you have a Switch, I'll have to give you my username so you can add me onto your friends list. Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to think of that was everything about the PlayStation increase. So this week's topic was going to be, well, sorry, is it going to be? It is um, the best controller that you ever used. And shout out to the Juggernaut because he's the one that gave me this idea. I'm just gonna pull up Twitter fast because okay, yeah. So I did a poll. It was N64 controllers great, N64 controllers sucked because during the Discord conversation, Marie, shout out to her, she basically said that she hated the N64 controller, which I responded with I agree on, and then right away Juggernaut and JW responded with that how they enjoyed the N64 controller and thought it was actually pretty great. So it was really funny, right? We actually had our personal disagreement on Discord. But anyway, I did a poll on there just to see which one would win, and at the end of the day, N64 controller sucked. It ended up losing by what is it, the 8 votes that I had. So 12% thought it was great. 87% thought the N64 controller sucked. Take a little peek here in the Discord just to see what everyone's responses were. I know a lot of people like to say that there was multiple ways to hold it, which is why it deserves like this podium. But I will repeat what I said on Discord. Nobody asked for a controller that they can hold multiple ways. There's never been a gamer that said, "Man, I wish I could hold this controller anywhere I want to." Like, no, no, no. That's not a feature. That's not an acceptable feature. Comfort for sure. Abilities to hold it, not so much. I mean, people got injured on that thing, man. Like Mario Party, when you had to grind in the middle with your hand, right? Like people got freaking blisters and ripped off skin because of that shit. JW thought Sega had the worst controllers, and he also never liked the GameCube controller, which he thought was a controversial opinion. But a lot of us kind of agreed on that one. I wasn't a big fan of what you would call it, the GameCube controller. I didn't think it was that fantastic. I thought it could use a lot of improvements actually. I don't know, just the color scheme, how like it felt okay to hold, you know what I mean? But just I don't know, it seemed like a step back. Was that my sister plays it and haven't played it because only games Animal Crossing and Mario Kart, which is kind of bad. Animal Crossing on the GameCube though was really fun. I did enjoy that on the GameCube. Uh, hey Jimmy,
What up?
not too much, buddy. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Just
um,
playing a little Armored Core.
oh, nice, nice, nice. Um, Actually, you'll be proud of me. I forgot to tell you this, but yesterday I was playing on the Switch Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and I was really liking it
Ooh,
actually. Yeah, yeah.
that's
I
pretty
think they
awesome.
label it was DX for some reason. I don't know, but anyway, the Game Boy version of it. Um, I was just saying though, I kind of forgot in Zelda games just like how grindy they could be. Like other games, you level up obviously, but in that one, it's all about the rubies, and I forgot like how long it could take sometimes to buy things.
Yeah, especially when you're getting like one at a time.
Yeah, right. I was laughing because there was one area they did it on purpose, obviously, but it's right above the shop. But anyway, you scroll up like one square, and the entire area is covered in grass. So like it's obviously just like a grind area, but you
Yep.
get maybe 5 rubies, and like it's the whole damn area covered in grass. I was like, oh man, it's gonna take a long time to get 200.
Of course, of course. Oh man.
um, But yeah, we were just talking about the like our favorite controllers, right? But I was just bringing up all the comments that happened on Discord and Twitter about the N64 controller. And sorry, Tommy, you were just chiming in with never had a problem with the N64 controller. Guess depends on the game you were playing, or maybe I just got used to it. Yeah, no, totally. I got used to it as well. But you know, if you were to pick that up today, it'd probably take a bit to get comfortable with it as compared to other controllers. But I was saying on Twitter, we ran a poll and 87% also agreed that the N64 controller was the worst, and 12% still liked it. And then I saw on Discord too, right? We had a lot of funny comments on there. It's the first time I think we actually had a little bit of division as far as what opinions were on the N64 controller. Um, but what about you, Mr. Jimmy? What was your favorite controller that you got to play on?
Well, and I hate to sound like a Sony pony, but I've always I've always been partial to the PlayStation controllers ever since PlayStation 1. And I don't know if it's just because, I don't have super large hands or anything. They just always felt more comfortable in my hands. I know, um, I know a lot of people in my friends group that really, really love the Xbox 360 controller. That's like hands down their favorite. For me, I can see that being comfortable, but PlayStation has always had the right controller for me. And it's only gotten better. I think the PS5 controller is like the best controller I've ever used. I mean, I will say it's not perfect. The D-pad is like my one gripe with it. And I mean, well, that and the battery life, but I usually just have it plugged in, so I got a like really long cable for it. But outside of the battery life and the D-pad could be better. It's my favorite controller.
Yeah, Tommy agrees with you too on that one. And actually, most people I think on Discord were with that opinion as well. I don't know what it is. You're right. It's like just the PlayStation controller since the first one, you know, all the way up until well, I only play PlayStation 4 now, but I'm assuming PlayStation 5 also feels really good. It just, I don't know, it really just fits like comfortably in your hands.
Right.
Most of my complaints with other controllers are usually depending on the size of them. I find my fingers will be touching, which is a very weird feeling when you're holding a controller. I hate that.
Yeah.
Or you kind of feel like with some controllers, I think it was the Dreamcast one, because it was so curved inwards and there was such an indent. Your hands kind of felt like cramped, like they kind of just they curved inwards. It just felt weird.
Oh, I haven't held that
Um,
controller in so long, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, right. And then, like I was saying with the OG Nintendo controllers, those ones being a rectangle often felt weird to hold because I don't know if you do the same, but sometimes I like to rest my index fingers, usually at the top of the controller. Hence why they
Right.
have like left and right bumpers now, right? And on those ones you couldn't, right? Just it would hurt if you did it for too long. So you kind of have to like I don't know, clamp it, I guess, as you're holding it. It was a very weird feeling. Um, yeah, it's just, you're right. PlayStation controllers just always felt really nice to hold. Xbox definitely has been another one that I've enjoyed between the 360 and the Xbox One controllers. I think they did a pretty good job um, as far as layout goes. But yeah, I don't know, I'm literally holding both in my hands right now, just kind of feeling the difference.
Yeah, the old Duke Xbox controller was really brutal for my hands.
Oh god, yeah, that thing was big.
Yeah, it was massive, but I think they've come a long way with those controllers too. They're up there with like really comfortable controllers now. Um, Nintendo's a weird one. I think their GameCube controller was like their best iteration of a controller. Um,
Yeah,
I the Nintendo 64 when that came out and that controller, it kind of blew my mind in a way where it was just like, you tried to wrap your head around everything that was going on with it, right? Um, and I feel like when the GameCube came out, it was kind of a similar thing where it was like, oh, I wonder what that controller is going to be like now that we've had this contraption. Um, and I think I agree. You said there was a point earlier that it depended on the game you were playing on the Nintendo 64 where it would feel better or worse, right? I
Yeah,
think fighting games didn't feel that great. I think it was a little clunky just because there's so many buttons in the way and like the layout of it. Um,
very true.
but
Yeah.
obviously, like we've all lived GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, and those are just a blast to play with those controllers.
See, like, yeah, I was thinking about that too, and I remember it took me a while. Like, I remember I did pretty good in GoldenEye. Like Tommy was saying, the more you play it, the more you got used to it. But I remember that first, I guess, playthrough was really difficult. As far as like aiming your gun, because I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was you had to use the C pad to either move up and down, and I think the joystick. Um, Oh no, you use the C-pad to go up, down, left, right as far as aiming goes, and the joystick was the one that lets your character move. A little bit challenging, I guess,
Yeah,
trying to get used to that. Oh, sorry, Tommy. You have a great night, buddy. Hope you enjoy Fall Guys with Z-Chick. Um, yeah, but then like you're right, like on a platformer like Super Mario, you weren't really phased by that controller. It
right.
was not very buttons, right? So it was pretty easy to navigate. But yeah, I also was one of those ugly people that had to stretch my hand across the controller and use both my thumb and index finger to guide the joystick. So,
Oh my God.
because I couldn't grasp how you just hold the middle and just have complete control. I was like, no, I need more control over this joystick.
Dude, I know we have a lot of similarities, but you're not gonna believe this. So, anytime I was using the joystick, I also held the complete left side. I never held the middle. I would use my middle finger to hit the Z button,
Yep, yeah,
you know?
same.
I never had to get my index finger involved on the joystick, but, I did use my thumb on it. Um, yeah, I was awkward and stretched my hand over it too. I could never grab the middle. It felt like an awkward controller that way.
Oh, that's too funny, Jimmy.
Just because we need a whole bunch of things in common, right?
Exactly. We both had the N64 curse.
Yes, we did.
The other one, I don't know if you agree with it or not, but um, the Switch kid, I don't have the dock, so I've never been able to play it on the TV. I've always been able to play it like as a handheld.
Yeah,
But I do find that my hands get sore after a while holding the Switch as a handheld. Depends again with certain games I'm playing, right? But
yeah.
usually if it's one where I have to use all the buttons, I guess I don't know if it's just because it's so long and my hands are just so stretched out or what the case is. But yeah, I usually find they cramp up a little bit or like in the middle. It kind of hurts after a while holding it.
I think the problem with those is it's just like a flat controller, like there's no rounded out backing to kind of like wrap your fingers around it comfortably. So you get this like middle of the hand cramping and pain. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, they make things that you can put over it that kind of help. Um, but like it would be nice if, maybe like the next Switch has, a rounded back controller so that it feels like you have a grip on it and it's not just like this flat tablet like, you know, thing. Um,
Yeah.
I just think that would go a long way for comfortability of like holding it and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially because like it is like I mean I don't know from my own personal view it seems like the Switch is very big into handheld, like a lot of people enjoy that feature of it, so you think you would make that one of the most comfortable features as far as like console design goes. It's weird that they like you said they kind of just made it like flat. um the other one, shout out to the Super Show actually, because they had this question on there. But I was curious what you guys would think too, right? When the Switch 2 comes out, do you think this will be one of their backwards compatible consoles finally? Like you'll be able to play Switch games on the Switch 2, or do you think they'll just go Switch 2 only?
I I personally think they'll make it so it's backwards compatible if it's gonna, keep the same um, philosophy, being a hybrid handheld home console system. I think that
Yeah,
would
because
make
like
the
the other
most
ones
sense.
Yeah, right. Because like, see, that would make sense because they were literally like different cartridges all together, or game discs as the GameCube and Wii were. But yeah, this one, if it's just that little chip, whatever you want to call it, I'd be surprised. Yeah, if they make it just Switch 2 only, that'd really suck.
I kind of hope it's almost like how like the PS4 Pro was to the PS4, where like even your previous games can have like a little bump. So like some of those games that got ported
Oh,
there that had some issues like frame rate and stuff, um, could get like a little patch. Yeah, there might be a slightly bigger file or whatever, but it runs better and looks better. Taking the benefits of the new hardware. Not only that, but a lot of those cloud versions of games, I hope get like native versions because of the, hopefully increased power and fidelity and all that.
yeah.
Because even
No,
if
that's
it's
that's
not like
great. Yeah.
top of the line graphics, like you can like the benefit of having something like, and of course I'm going to say this, like Resident Evil 2
Yeah.
on the go on a Switch would be really cool, like the remakes and then like the newer Resident Evils that are only available on cloud for Switch right now, and that technology isn't there yet. So like cloud-based gaming kind of sucks,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, um, again, like it'll have to come down to when the Switch actually, well, sorry, the Switch 2 comes out and what it looks like. But again, on the same podcast, one of the little things they gave away was that the graphics should be pretty similar to what you see on the PlayStation 4, which is exciting. Like, I mean, Nintendo's always going to be behind on graphics. And that's whatever. I mean,
Right,
it's not a big deal for those consoles. But yeah, just I don't know. Still, PlayStation 4 graphics for a Nintendo game, like that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited.
right. Just think it would go a long way, just to
Yeah,
be able to have some of those. Because I don't know, the whole idea of having a portable system and then you throw in some games are only available on the cloud. It's kind of like meh, not really the best look, you know.
exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, so yeah, there's a good chance, like you said, you might get that Resident Evil 2 experience that you're looking for.
Right.
And then the other one I didn't try yet that I actually saw it at my local game store, and I'm really tempted to save up and buy one just so I could say I owned it. Was the Wii U? I've always been curious how that one feels to hold as a controller, how like the games work on it and stuff. It looked really neat. It was like a different version of the Dreamcast to me. It was like this is a system I have to try at one point in my life at least. And it's not bad. Like it's only like $150. So yeah, it might be something I'll look into getting.
The
Just as I
Wii
said,
U
just
was
to try it
actually
out.
pretty nice. I really enjoyed. I mean, mine is in a box right now, but I really did enjoy it when I was using it more often. God, I'm just trying to think of
Well, no,
what.
I'm glad to hear that because you're actually one of the reasons why I was debating it. Because I said you're one of the few people I know that actually owned one, and yeah, you always had like a really nice opinion on it. So I was like, ooh, maybe I will try that system out.
I mean, it really was a good system. I mean, it also doubles as a Wii, so you're able to, as far as I remember, you can play. I think the only thing you couldn't do was play GameCube games on it, which the original Wii could. I
Oh
hope
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
good point.
misremembering that. It's probably not even a
No, I
one,
could see
but
that because that'd be a lot to add on.
yeah.
Was there any like games in particular, Jimmy, that you've ever played on the Wii U that you really enjoyed?
I, I'm trying to think. Well, I know one of the Fatal Frames is on there,
Oh
but I didn't really
wow.
get to play that. But it was only digital, so I don't know if you. I don't think you can still get it,
Oh. Oh, okay.
unfortunately. Um, I mean I think Twilight Princess HD was on there. Um, Wind Waker
That's cool.
HD was on there. There was a lot of cool like virtual console stuff too. I think Golden Sun 1 and 2 were on there.
Wow, that'd be kind of fun to play.
Yeah. And like that you play on like the tablet controller thing that it came with.
Yeah, see, like that's what I'm excited to try out. Like, I just want to like understand how that tablet works as the controller. It looks
Yeah,
really
some
neat.
games utilize that. I'm trying to think what else. Because like in my memory, it's hard to like differentiate between like the Wii games that I played on it and then the Wii U. you know. Um,
Totally, yeah.
I can't remember. There was a Star Fox Zero. I can't remember if that was Wii U or Wii. I think it might have been
Yeah,
Wii
no,
U.
no, you're right. I think that was a Wii U because there wasn't many like big games that came out for it, like Nintendo ones. But yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Star Fox, Mario had its own game on there.
I think you'd like that one. Star Fox Zero was pretty cool. The only downside to it is how they handled co-op. Like I would probably just avoid playing multiplayer on that completely. Because if I recall correctly, it was set up where one person would be in charge of shooting and the other one in charge of moving.
Oh,
Which, you know,
that's a
you
disaster.
can imagine. I just thought that was such an odd design choice. Like a different way to play it for sure, but it just didn't feel like the way I wanted to play it. You know, somebody. It'd be
It's like the games that say they have multiplayer, right? But it's like your partner will hold the right hand controller and you hold the left side of it, and that's the
right.
multiplayer version.
Yeah, Nintendo's weird about that stuff. It's like, oh, here's Mario Odyssey, but you know what the multiplayer is? Someone's the hat. Because, you were thinking, how cool would that be if I just played as a hat? Just like, why?
So true.
Why do this? Doesn't make any sense.
Oh my god. I love it. I love when games just really try but they bomb like multiplayer. Like there's I think Fable was another one that was really crappy at it. You could have multiplayer but you were literally like a shadow of the person. So like you had no progression whatsoever. You just followed them
Oh,
around. And,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, my God. That's too funny.
And then the other one, yeah, the other one other than that I didn't try was the Super Nintendo. I thought that controller would be kind of neat to hold as well.
Oh,
It's fun
fair
to
enough.
actually owning a Switch now because now I can actually go ahead and at least try a few Super Nintendo games. It was that one console I was really jealous of everyone owning that I didn't get to play.
Oh,
The
man.
Sega Genesis was good though. I did enjoy theirs. I know Cat Trooper was saying he didn't like any of the Sega controllers, but I didn't play
Oh,
Sega
see, I
Saturns.
did. I mean, but that was like my childhood. Playing Mortal Kombat on the Sega was like a whole
Yeah,
thing.
like I'm really trying to picture it. I think I could literally pick that controller up and not, struggle play with it or anything. I don't think it would be weird to hold.
Right.
Um, I said the Dreamcast one, like I did like it, but like I said, it was a little bit small, I guess, in its shape, and just because of those curves in the back, it really kind of made it awkward to hold. And then sadly, that was the end of Sega's controllers.
Yep. I
The Game Gear was not bad though. It
No,
wasn't too
but
bad.
except for the battery like
Yeah.
situation. That was something else.
Sorry, Jimmy, what were you gonna say before that?
That's a good question. I got into this really intense mech
No, no
boss battle
worries.
right now, but I should just pause it real quick. I mean, I loved the Sega growing up. Like that was a big chunk of my early gaming. Um, Not that I didn't have like Nintendo. I played Atari when I was younger too, and stuff like that. So I've kind of seen the grand scope of gaming growing up my many years.
I
Um,
feel you.
but yeah, I remember the 6-button Sega controller being much better than the original one. It was
Yeah,
a little nicer. Um, but like the rounded design really helps to make it like a little more comfortable than other things. Although I never had an issue with the NES controller. And the Super Nintendo controller was pretty good, especially for like playing Mario and stuff like that.
yeah, that's what I was saying on Discord. Like, I feel like that would have been a lot of fun to use the Super Nintendo controller. It just looked like it was good for the games that came around that time.
Oh man. I'm thinking of like the times when like we're waiting for a system to be announced or come out and then the speculation on what the controllers are going to be like. Do you remember the PS3 banana looking controller?
Yeah,
I'm so glad that didn't become a thing because that was just a crazy ass design. It was like a boomerang or a banana. It was just like, what is happening? was like, I really hope that that's not true.
It's a good point though. It's so exciting when games come out, but yeah, when a new console's coming out, it is just so funny seeing what they think gamers want or
Oh
what
yeah.
people are going to enjoy. And then that quick like, okay, we made the wrong decision. Let's backtrack, folks.
Yep. I don't know what we're doing here. Oh
um,
man.
yeah. I think I see. That's what I was trying to like. It's hard to explain, right? If you haven't had the same background, like you were saying, Jimmy, like you and me have had, where you grow up on these consoles. Like, example, like JW and other people that always bring up like PC. I get it. Like they grew up on the N64, which yes, sure, that is quite the history of console gaming. But like I
Right.
feel like it was different if you grew up from Atari, regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Like you
Right.
got to see a hell of an evolution, really, in gaming. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, right. It's just like I said, that's that part that kind of stings. I know you already gave your feedback on it, but with the whole PlayStation subscription increase, it just like stuff like that. I think that's what hurts more. It's just because you've been
Oh,
such a long term console fan, right? You're rooting
right.
for that to be one of the main sources of gaming, and then they do something silly like that, and
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just it's tough because I am like admitted like Sony. I just prefer Sony, like PlayStation over most things. I mean, I still play, Nintendo and Xbox and stuff. It's just my main console has always been PlayStation since the PS1. Um, and it's really tough to even justify a lot of the things that they're doing right now in this
yeah,
generation. It's like really bizarre how they can go from like the previous generation where they were in a very good standing and to do whatever the hell they're doing now. Like it's a joke with their premium tier. Like it's not even worth it because they're drip feeding classic titles that some of them were on the PS3 store, you know? So it's like, why is this worth it now if you're not even, you're waiting, not even telling us your game plan, and you're barely giving us new classics. And when you do, it's like really obscure stuff that, how is Resident Evil 2 and 3 original not on there yet? How is Dino Crisis 1 and 2 not on there yet? It makes zero sense.
that's
How are these
true.
classic
That's very
titles?
true.
Silent Hill 1, how is that not on there yet? Not even to get into like PS2 games that aren't on there yet.
And I was telling Tommy, like at $40 a month, if you get to the max service, I mean, with any of them, it's going to add up. But that one's what, maybe 4 months of paying it, and you've already paid the year subscription. Um, like they're basically like, I mean, there's always been a savings getting the yearly one, no doubt. But 4 months is a very short time to pay monthly to equal that same price. So
Yeah,
I said, I don't know. It's wild. It's just wild to think that they honestly think people can afford $40 a month. When like I said, to catch up, right? You're paying for so many other services. Um, on top of that, already, most people don't just have obviously PlayStation. I mean, even if that's their only game of choice, I mean, you still got, like I said, Netflix, Prime, whatever else you're adding into the mix.
right. Yeah, I just don't
Yeah,
understand.
and like I've said, you and me have already felt the same about it before, but it's just like $20 to just play with your friends. Like it's just so stupid. I hate that you have to pay to play with your buddies. But like
Yeah,
yeah, I think you said it best before. You're already paying for the internet. You're already paying the big costs. Like
right. It just doesn't make sense. And, they can justify it all they want with like the other stuff that they do with it, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't touch it. It's just, you know, to get greedy and they try to get away with as much as they can, unfortunately, and
yeah,
we're
I
just
don't know if you
left
got a
in the
chance yet. But the Dreamcast guy, he made his little review about it, and there was like some interesting facts he threw on there. Like I was telling Tommy, one of them was that subscriptions like counts haven't really increased that much. So that was one of the weird things. Like why do this now? Like why burn the people that are loyal to you
right.
if you're not really like bringing in a mass audience? And then the other one he mentioned that was kind of interesting too, and this is like for both parties, not just PlayStation, it's Xbox as well. But apparently they're not really paying the game studios more for the
Right.
games that they're doing. So, you're like you said, you're increasing the price, but you're not benefiting anyone along the way. We're not going to get better games because of it. We're not going to, keeping the games this month coming out. I agree with him. Like you get the Saints Row remaster, or sorry, the redo of it.
Yeah, the reboot.
And I think there's two other like obscure titles that you get as well. So it's not like September came in with a banger.
Right.
It's
It's
yeah.
not like they announced that there's going to be like 15 classic titles being added or something.
Exactly. And two, I like he pointed out a really good thing was that like you wouldn't have even known this if you didn't properly read that newsletter that popped out, right? Because it was right at the very end of it. That's where they made the announcement, like, oh, and by the way, we're gonna do this too.
Yep.
So it's kind of it was kind of sneaky that way.
Yeah, it's kind of garbage that way. And I'm not really thrilled with what they decided to do, which is kind of shitty.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like you said, someone like yourself or me, right, that enjoys older games. It was
Right.
just nice to have that feature, but now it's almost like okay, I guess I'll keep this when I really want to play that older title, or I'll just pull out my PS2.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of sad because it's like you really made the premium tier a joke, and it's like there's I don't know how they can't see what would actually work. Like literally people want to play these classics. They want them. Like and maybe it's not as big as a number as I think it is, but like it would still at least make the idea of them putting these classics on there more worth it because, you know, they'd
Exactly.
actually be putting some on there. It really is a joke right now with like how little they put on there, and like you wait like a month, 2 months for like 3 games. Most of them are PSP, and it's like no one gives a shit. Like,
It's
like
so true.
why not put that towards look if they decide to have it so that PS3 games can be played natively now instead of, you know, streaming them, then maybe I'll start considering it to be like an actual good use of, you know, paying more or something. I don't know. But it's like they're not doing that. They're
Yeah.
just gonna increase it and there's not really gonna be any added value. And if they could prove me wrong, I'd be super happy about it.
I
But
was thinking of that too when you're saying that because I remember again, I don't know if he meant it in this context or not, but I remember JW brought up that conversation with Pizza, I think it was on the podcast, and basically Pizza was saying the same thing, like why don't they bring back these old school games? Why don't we get a chance to play them? Yada yada yada. But even in your case with Resident Evil 2 and 3, again, I don't know if I remember this correctly as the way he said it or meant it, but it came across like if they did give you the old school, let's say Resident Evil 2 and 3, well, why would you buy the newer versions? But like, I don't think that would really affect it. Like, I was just thinking about that. Like, if you're a real fan of Resident Evil 2 and 3, like, yeah, you're gonna love playing the old one, but I don't think that's gonna stop you from buying a remaster of it. I
right,
don't think that would really hurt sales at all, to be honest. Because I was thinking of Xbox right now. I know on Game Pass you can play the old school Final Fantasy VII, and I'm sure at one point when they get the new Final Fantasy VII, if it ever is allowed to be on Xbox. But regardless, right? If I had the option between the two games, um, that's two different entire. It's pretty much two different entire games. Like I want the old school version, I'll play that, but it's not going to stop me from trying the new one or buying the new one. Um, yeah, it really doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't just release the older games.
right.
You're correct on that one. Like, what's 40 new games to add on there from back catalogs of 1, 2, or 3 for PlayStation? Yeah, it's I don't really understand it. I'm just really thinking about that comment, and I was like, yeah, it really makes no sense. It doesn't stop you at all from purchasing a remaster in any
Right.
way.
It's just bogus excuses.
Yeah, it really is. right? It's just it's real bullshit.
Oh, and
Oh,
I wanted to not be bogus excuses, but like it's just weird. It's just weird the decisions they're making these days, and I just don't understand it.
yeah, especially with everything going digital too. Like you think you'd want to preserve some of those older games
Right.
and keep them alive, keep them still,
Now, game
fresh in people's
preservation's a
heads.
joke now, which is sad.
Yeah, yeah. I said, I know there's, like you said, there's a lot of crappy indie ones, so why preserve those ones? Save the ones that people really wanted to play. Like you said, the old school Resident Evils, or even like Pizza brought before, just the old Sly Coopers and Ratchet and Clanks and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then I could stop begging Capcom for you know, a
Dino
collection
Crisis.
for the old games.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, the Capcom collection, like
Yeah,
just like
I'd
how
love it.
Rare Replay did theirs.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, more companies haven't tried that. There's quite a few of them that could do something.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
You are
they
not wrong, sir. And it'd be awesome. It really
really
would.
would. Yeah, like okay, 80. Even if it was $80, $90, like that's pretty worth it. Depending on like
Yeah,
how many games they're gonna give you. If it's the same amount of games that Rare Replay gave, then yeah, like I wouldn't mind paying that kind of money.
absolutely. I'd love it. I mean,
So
I just needed a Resident Evil collection. That's all.
you
Just give
just
me
need
the
the Resident Evil
OGs.
collection.
Yeah. Well, they could do so much with it. They could put the original full color version of the RE1 intro back into it because I'm pretty sure we can handle it now. We don't need censored shit anymore. I don't know. That's a whole other issue, censorship.
I totally get you. Especially when it comes to older games. It's just like, let us enjoy that nostalgia.
Right.
I was gonna say I know so sorry, Jimmy. I keep bugging you, you know what on here right now. You're just trying to beat this damn game.
Oh no, you're fine. You're
Um,
fine.
I was gonna say I know you got to like tell me a little bit in text, but obviously it's easier like when you can talk, right? Um, so like what sold you so far on Armor Core? Because like you said, right, this is really out of the box for you to play and enjoy to this level.
Yeah. Right now, I'm on a really obnoxious boss. I need to figure out what's going to work best for me. But outside of that, yeah, I like that it's different. I've never really played the Armored Core series other than like I think there was a demo back on PS1, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's an
Um,
old series, right? I'm so shocked. I didn't think it was that old.
yeah, it's very it's been around for a very long time. Um, and yeah, I think I told you before, I'm not a big mech fan, so I never really gave the series a try. And I don't know, for some reason, I decided to be open-minded and give it a go because I love From Software. Um, and it's really paying off. It's really, I mean, it looks great, it plays great. There's definitely a learning curve that I'm still trying to figure out. Um, so like in a way, like it still kind of has some Souls-like aspect to it for me because it's like a different kind of challenge now. I have to figure it out. Um,
I was really
this
curious.
one in
Yeah,
particular is rough, but yeah, I don't know. I like the freedom of switching up like your loadout basically. You can make your mech how you want and fit your play style. I do think there's certain scenarios where you have to figure out what play style works for a particular areas or like bosses. Um, so you're still at the mercy of figuring out like what is still going to be better for the situation. But I still think you got a little bit of freedom where you can also make builds that shouldn't work there work if you're skilled enough, which I am not. um, and this guy keeps throwing down mines, and it's pissing me off, but it's fine. We'll get there. Um, And I
Yeah,
think,
I was gonna say.
oh, go ahead.
Oops, sorry. No, I was just gonna say I noticed a lot of people. I think I shared the link with you on Discord before, but a lot of people, yeah, were complaining about even the first boss, like just being such a challenge and impossible to beat. So I'm sure it only gets more intense after that.
What's funny is like, yeah, because it's like the tutorial boss. I'm not gonna say he was easy. You just kind of have to like change your approach. And I think if like you're used to a Souls like, and you go in with that mindset, I think same for like Sekiro. You go in with the mindset of like you're gonna play it like a Souls game, you're gonna be pretty much screwed. But I'm probably gonna die here. This guy is obnoxious. I think the part that I'm trying to figure out right now is like he doesn't. This mech that I'm fighting doesn't have like mech legs. It has like a tank body, and it moves
Oh,
really fast. And in the front is like all shielded, so you have to get behind it to actually do any kind of damage to it. But I'm not currently rocking anything that's super helpful at the moment to be able to move quick enough to get behind it and not get hit constantly. And then, like have anything that like my missiles are pretty much useless here. So I think I'm gonna have to get rid of that. I can't really because I don't have anything else to put there. Um, but if it goes and hits him in the front, it basically is useless. It doesn't do any damage. So I'm just really in a pickle at the moment.
I was gonna ask you too, because I know like you've told me before, like quite a few different Souls like games and stuff like that, and some of them had similarities. Do you find that like Armor Core has a few similarities to like Dark Souls or Elden Ring, or is it just like the challenge of it that's pretty much the same?
I think the challenge of it is really where similarities lie for me. I mean, you can look at things in that way, like you can view like there's like a bar for like when you boost up or boost like around and stuff like that that you can kind of view as like a stamina bar in a way. You have
Okay.
like a stagger type of situation, which enemies also do too. And that's what I'm trying to use on this boss is to get that stagger meter up so that I can get some, free shots in. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But you can also be staggered, which is equally annoying. Um, because then you just have to sit there and take it for like a couple seconds. But yeah, in a way, like it's got that same, you know, there's some bigger bosses that you take on and you try to, strategically take them out and dodge. But it's very different in that, like it's not like Dark Souls where you can just dodge and you've got some like iframes and stuff like that. This is like you have to be mindful of like not only like around you but like up and down and like you kind of got to fly around things and get like an advantage that way and it's a lot going on at
Oh,
once,
okay.
you know. So it's
And is it like Dark Souls like bosses too, where you could do different approaches on how to take them down, or is it like you pretty much have to do like the head-on action? Like
um
example like the Taurus demon, right? I could jump off a roof and do more damage. Like, is there a way to deal more damage to a boss, or is it
it
just
it seems like with certain situations like you kind of have to like figure out what the thing's weakness is so you can make it easier once you know, but you know
oh, okay.
um yeah, it's I don't know, it can be a little rough at the same
Yeah. Well, it's
time.
good to know they have weaknesses, though.
Yeah. Uh, like for the tutorial boss, I think I got it on my third try. I didn't think it was like impossible or anything. I think it was just like one of those situations where you assess the situation. You're like, I definitely didn't go in the right way for this. And then I think the third try, I went in more aggressively and up close, and that seemed to work out better. So it was just kind of like a thing where I will say like the blades that you can use are really cool. They do a good amount of damage. I only have like the blade you have like pretty early on um, from the start. I haven't unlocked any more, so I just assume that there will be better ones that I unlock later. But yeah, it's just like there's different kinds of weapons, different kinds of like pieces for your mech and stuff. So I mean, I just feel like there's like different ways to really like think about it. So like once you find the way that works, you just stick with it for that particular boss. But then you might have to change it up and change up what you have. It kind of rewards you for experimenting, it seems, to see what, because you could like start from a checkpoint and just like mid mission, you can just change up your mech to see if like something else works.
Oh,
So you
okay.
don't have to like start over, which is what I'm doing right now. I think I have what's working right now, but I just have to not die.
No, that's a cool feature though. Wow, okay.
Yeah, so like it's definitely different from a Souls game where you don't lose like the currency in this is actually money that you get from missions. You're like a mercenary, um, which I assume means I'll be making some decisions at some point, and it'll affect my outcome. Um,
Oh, okay. Well, that's a different way to do the story.
yeah. So like I'm assuming there's multiple endings. I've never played an hardcore game before though, so I don't really know if that's true. But
That's gonna say, like, by this being your first one, do you feel like you've missed out on anything, or is the story like just pretty much relevant for the game you're playing right now?
this one feels like you can just jump in without having any prior experience, which is kind of nice. But it
That's
also like
cool.
intrigues me enough now where like I want to go back and try the other ones. However, there's a huge barrier, for that, and that is the cost of trying to get those old games. There's no way because they're super expensive. And unfortunately, I didn't have the future sight of thinking I would have wanted these games at some point. So I'm kind of just stuck with that. Definitely can't get it now.
Yeah, I'm intrigued because I was if there's any of them on the PlayStation 4, I might have to see if there's like a digital copy I could just download and
I
play for a
don't.
bit.
I don't. Well, this is also on PS4. There's a PS4 version of this game.
Is there? Okay, nice, nice.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm never sure now with newer games. Like, I probably won't be able to get it.
I know, but they're still supporting it, which is really cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I
I'm
just did it.
surprised.
I almost just like totally over exaggerated and just started like swearing up a storm, but I just did it. I killed them.
Woo! Way to go!
Hell yeah. That was a rush. That's the part I'm loving too, though. It's like it really does feel like a rush when you kill the bosses.
Was it a pretty decent payout you got?
I'm about to find out. Probably not, because I probably used up a ton of ammo and got hit a lot.
Oh, they calculate all that into your payout?
Yeah, you get like a payout and then expenses.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. Ooh, we got a trophy. I'll take the trophy. Yeah, so paid in, I got 458,000. That was 330,000 base pay and then 128,000 bonus pay, which I'm not really sure what the bonus pay came from. Actually, you know what? My my total payout isn't bad. My expenses totaled 66,076, and that was just from repair cost and ammunition cost. I have no penalties on that one. That is not bad.
That is
Oh,
crazy. Like, that's a good way to give it a little more edge on the challenge. Wow. Okay.
oh yeah, yeah, because they factor in. I haven't seen any rankings or anything, but I know that there are because people talked about getting like S ranks and stuff. But
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, oh god, I gotta doesn't make any sense. I've been getting a lot of random texts from random numbers that are like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "I don't know you."
Oh, I know. Ours is always for elections. I hate when they call you, hey, I'm
Yeah,
Jim blah, blah, blah.
God. Or you get the one where it's like your Netflix account is going to be
Yeah.
canceled or something like that. And it's like, pretty sure Netflix doesn't text you.
There's a package waiting for you, but first I must get $1,000 from you.
Oh yeah, sure. Let me give you my social. Oh man. Ooh,
That's
I
cool
unlocked
though.
some
I'm,
stuff.
I'm glad you really enjoyed that game. Like I said, it sounds pretty unique.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm really thankful that it has training missions that you unlock as you go, and it kind of gives you more help, you know, figuring things out, which is nice because
I
you
guess the
can.
only thing I was curious about too was, do you just like jump from mission to mission, or is it like Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all the other ones where you actually have like an open world to explore?
No, it's a mission-based
It
design, which
is, eh?
is
Okay.
kind of nice because like I'll do a few missions and then kind of stop there. Like right now, I'm probably gonna stop this game and play something else for a bit. But like, yeah, I'll do a few missions, get some money, maybe like buy some new parts, and then go into the next set of missions the next time I turn it on, which is kind
No,
of
that's
cool.
pretty good then. And
Yeah.
I guess you could replay them again if you want more gold or money. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a replay mission option too, and then I noticed that they have like a this battle log, which I'm assuming I only have one of them that says complete, and the other one says pending. So I'm wondering if that's like basically if you killed all the enemies in that level, if it says complete. So it's like another
Oh,
thing to
okay.
check off, which is kind of interesting. But I'm wondering if when you replay the missions, if that's when you get like a ranking, because I don't have any rankings on these.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm wondering
because
if
the
it's
first time you're
just
just
like,
playing it.
yeah, you're just playing it just to get through the story,
Yeah.
which I kind of like that because it's less stress.
It's true. Yeah. If I usually like, I'm thinking like Sonic games, where I usually get your rank right away. The minute I get one, it's like not a rank I'm satisfied with. I'm compelled to replay that level until I get the one I want.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else came out today? I say what else, but I mean, you know what came out today? uh,
What else came up?
Daymare 1994, Sandcastle, the prequel to the other Daymare, which was the game that started out as a fan-made um, Resident Evil 2 remake that Capcom was like, we got to cancel that because we're doing the remake. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
they ended up making their own game out of the assets and stuff. Um, it was a very janky game, but this one supposedly is much better, much more polished than the other one. And
Like it's available for like PlayStation 4 as well, or is it just like a new console game?
it's available on PlayStation 4 as well.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
I
Nice to know.
don't
Maybe I
think
can
it's
try.
one of the cross-buy ones though. So like, I think you have to pick your version and buy it, which a lot of like indie games seem to go that way, which is it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's kind of like whatever, I guess.
Yeah. Right here. At least I could try a newer game.
Right. Okay, let's
The other
see.
one, I can't remember the title of it, but the other one I saw that was getting mentioned was it Sway the Stars or something?
Oh, Sea of Stars?
Uh, Sea Stars. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that name pop up quite a bit. Interested to
Yeah,
see what that one's about.
that's that I got for free because it was on I think the extra tier for PlayStation. It's also
Oh,
on Game Pass,
nice.
I think. I do want to give that a go because I mean, my other part of me is I love RPGs, which is great.
Same here.
Wait, no way. No, I'm kidding. Another thing in common. Oh man,
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it'll be kind of fun. I saw someone play it on the Switch, and I was like, "Ooh, maybe that'd be a good Switch game to have."
that would be kind of. It would be fun. I still got to get through Octopath Traveler. I'm still kind of sad that the first one didn't come to PlayStation because I know it got ported to PC and Xbox after it was on the Switch for a while. But the second one came out on PlayStation, which is nice. That one is really good so far from what I played. I really should sit down and finish that. But obviously, it's got to be when the mood strikes, which
Well, I
my
said,
mood
especially for
always.
you, this year's been really big for you. Like, I feel like you've had so many games that you were waiting to play, and now obviously games that are shocking you that you didn't think you would enjoy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a year for you, Jimmy.
I don't know that I could ask for a better year of gaming. I mean, and my personal game of the year is going to be Resident Evil 4 Remake because that just,
Wow, really? That one still is up there for you?
yeah, like as much as like these other games are killing it and stuff, because like it really is one of those like, holy shit, there's all these good games coming out. But I mean, obviously Resident Evil is like one of my top loves, and having that remake come out and having it be so good that like I, Resident Evil 4, the original used to be like that one that changed the series for me, and like as much as I liked it, it wasn't in my like top three. And then the remake of it just totally made it like such a highlight for me. They changed it in all the right ways, in my opinion. I know that there's other people out there that disagree, and that's fine. But for me, it was everything and more. You
See,
know.
I'm glad you said that too because yeah, at the end of the year, like I was mentioning a long time ago, we'll do our little recap again for the podcast. We did it last year. We all picked our games of the year. But yeah, like like especially someone in your case, right? That's a big Resident Evil fan, or anyone that has like a particular series that they love. It's really cool, like hearing that opinion on the game, right? Especially like in this case where it's actually your game of the year, because like you said, there's people that are gonna play this for their first time and they're gonna have like a basic opinion or whatever of it, of their thoughts. But then there, like people like you said, like yourself, right, who got to play both versions, and got to see that game kind of like in a different light, and why it stood out way more. I'm
Yeah.
excited, Jimmy. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it.
Oh man, yeah, and there's still so many games coming, and it's just crazy to me.
It's true, eh? Yeah, like we're
I
getting to the point now. We're gonna get the next wave of heavy hitters.
just like I'm thinking of these previous years where like we were really like starving for games, you know, and it was just really not that great. And then now we've had so many good games come out, and on top of that, there's more to still come out this year. I'm looking forward to Like a Dragon Gaiden, which is just like the moment that's available, I'm all over it. I'm like, I know I'm gonna have a baby, and it's gonna be rough getting any sleep, but I am going to make sure that that game gets played when it comes out, one way or the other.
Just falls asleep with a controller in his head.
Yep. But you got Alan Wake 2. It got pushed back a little
Yeah.
bit later in October, but it's still coming. The Alone in the Dark remake. Um, God, Spider-Man 2 is going to be
Yep.
insane.
Another big one. Yeah. Yeah. We still have Starfield, right, to go
Yep.
through.
I have that preloaded now on my Xbox. Um, although the Game Pass version isn't getting early access, right? We still have to wait till next week.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah. We still have to wait. Oh, thank you, Z Chick, for the raid. How you go? How you
All the
doing? How
hype.
you going? Wow,
How
I
are you
keep saying that.
going? I like it. We
I
should
know.
put
I
that on a
literally
shirt.
said this. I
Let's
can't
do
remember
it.
what I said to earlier.
How you
Oh my
going?
gosh. Oh, it's Shannon. Yeah, on the YouTube stream. I said the same thing to her. And hey, Marie. Hope you
Oh
guys are all
man.
doing good. Oh, hey, Z Chick.
Let's see if this game has a graphics
Oh,
mode and change.
are you? Oh, you're muted, Z Chick. Sorry. Um, if you're available later. Oh, no, never mind. You're unmuted.
Uh,
Like, am I really? What the shit? What's up, guys?
what up?
Oh, what up? Here, I'm gonna turn up my audio. I think
I
mine's
was,
just a little bit quiet.
oh no, it's just quiet on mine too, but oh good, I can turn her up on the PlayStation.
Stop. I'm never quiet.
You are now.
That's weird. I'm always so loud. I've never heard anyone tell me it's quiet.
It could
Hey,
just be Discord.
we'll blame Discord. That sounds cool for me.
Yeah,
What?
let's do it.
Yeah, Discord can be the blame. What's good?
So Not too much. We were just kind of I let Jimmy sell me on Armor Core. He was just telling about his experience throughout it. Um,
Did you
and then we were just sorry. Go ahead.
did you play Armored Core 6 already, Jimmy?
Yeah, I haven't beaten it yet, but I was doing a couple missions while I was on here
My Spider
because I moved. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Spider cannot wait to play that. He's like, oh my god.
So it's funny because I'm not really like a mech fan, but I love FromSoft. So I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this. I've never played the series before, outside of like a demo from years ago. Um, and yeah, I was really surprised that like I figured I'd probably like it a little bit just because like I do love From Software and I'll play like literally anything that they release.
That's
Um,
kids about it too. He's like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
but I was super shocked how much I actually am enjoying it. Even with that frustrating boss I was just fighting. Yeah,
Nice.
it's really good. See if I can turn you up a little more. Nope, I'm at
Okay.
max for
I can totally be louder. How's this? Is this better?
yes. That's
Oh
much better.
yes, yes.
Okay. Am I too loud now? Am I like
No,
No.
no, no. You're
okay.
perfect, Z-Chick. Um, yeah, mine is Jimmy. That's true. Spider will be very exciting to watch play
Super
the new
sweet.
Armored Core.
Yeah.
I hope he
Yeah, that'll
streams it
be
at least.
awesome.
Maybe. I'll talk him into it.
Yeah, it'd just be cool to see him play like a new game that's in a little out of his element from software. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd
we
like to
were
see just his play style, just to see a different play style, just to see what he does.
He's very strategic. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, he has some really good YouTube clips actually. I
Yeah.
believe it was Dark Souls. I was watching him play on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's super strategic player. So like when he's trying to help me play something, I'm like a all in, just like fuck it, I'm gonna die kind of player, and he's just completely opposite. So when we play like Destiny 2 together, he loves it because he's like, just follow Z. You can just she'll die, but I will know where everybody else is. Fact.
Oh yeah, there's another expansion coming to Destiny 2.
I think it just came out, yep,
The
because he's over there playing it right now.
the final shape doesn't that come out in like February? I think
Oh, I don't know. Hey babe, or maybe it's just
the more recent one. I know that went on sale. It's like half off. I ended up picking it up because I was like, I still got to catch up on all the expansions, but
man, I
still.
just got Witch Queen because it was free.
Oh yeah,
But
that's right. That
I don't play that often. So I just play
fair
whenever
enough.
I need to take some aggressions out. Or when Spider needs a third person. He's like, I don't want to play with randos, hop in. I'm like, all right.
I feel
It's
that
true
so
though.
much in my soul.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like,
Destiny 2 with friends is a lot better.
yeah, he's like, I
Oh
want to play
yeah.
with someone who's not going to be a dick. So just hop in. All right. And then I'm a dick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm totally
Take
kidding.
that.
Right. I do shoot him with arrows all the time. Though.
Oh my
I put one,
god.
I shoot him in the knee and I say stupid shit like, he took an arrow to the knee.
Amazing.
So guess what Z-Chick's favorite game is?
Right?
Yep. I mean, yes, hands down.
It's Daggerfall, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Totally. How did you know?
Just a shot in the dark. That's all.
Good guess. Good guess, man.
I'm currently playing the new Daymare game, and I have walked into a locker and moved the camera, and I can see my character's uvula.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So that's an interesting thing that I never thought I'd be having nightmares about tonight.
You
It's like they
know,
Wow.
really
it's
fix
always
those
time.
glitches, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Z-Chick, did you see about the PlayStation increase for the subscription cost?
Did I what?
See about the increase for the PlayStation subscription cost?
No, I didn't pay attention
Yeah,
to that.
yeah. So we were talking. Yeah, it kind of sucks. We were talking about earlier there, but like at the max tier, it's now going to be $40 a month, and then I believe the base tier will be $20 a month, and the middle one I'm guessing is 30.
I always pay
Um,
it yearly, so
yeah. So
So
yearly, I
you're
think it's
looking at, do you have
160.
premium? Yeah,
yeah,
160
I
for
think so.
premium.
Okay. Uh,
I know,
not
right? It's a lot.
Yeah,
yeah, not happy
it
about it, but
hurts.
it does hurt a
Especially
little
since
bit.
they're really bad with releasing classic games to make it
Especially
even worth
since
it.
they're yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Got like
So
nothing.
Spider has PlayStation Plus, and I just play everything that he owns. So
Perfect.
yeah. So we only pay for it once.
That's a
Yeah, I
good
was like,
plan. I like
yeah,
that.
That sucks
yeah.
though.
Just
That's gonna be that
it
expensive.
does. Yeah, I said, especially like I said, for a year pass, just paid $80 just to play with your friends online. Like that's still quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other thing we were talking about earlier was sorry. Hey Django, I'll change it in a second. Thank you for letting me know, but it was still Apex Legends.
BFF. Sorry.
um, the other thing we were talking about was our favorite controllers, or even like the worst controller. I think I might know what yours will be, Z Chick, but I'd love to hear
What the
what you
worst
pick.
controller was?
Yeah, worst and the best.
Um, I think the best is I really like the PS5 controller.
Of course.
I really do. It's just it fits my hand nicely. You know. I feel like the PS4 controller because my hands are small, so I think that one was a little bit easier at first, but I think I've gotten used to this one. Like I don't know. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah,
I
100%. Like we were
Okay.
all saying,
Yeah, like this
we
one's a
feel like
little
I would say
fat.
the same thing. My hands are small as well, and I chose the PS5 controller.
Yeah, like
yeah,
it's really nice. It's not too bulky. It's not too heavy either,
Yeah.
and I like how like it's rounded, on the handles, and the joysticks are smoother. Like there's not a lot of like clickety clickety unless you're like freaking out on something. So I feel like I don't know, I like it, and I like that you have a mic and a speaker right on the controller. So that's nice too.
yeah, because we were all saying that like the PlayStation controllers, like from one all the way until now, have just always felt really right. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Ergonomically
really
comfortable, right?
yes, yeah, and
Yes.
you bring up a good point actually. Yeah, because I didn't even think about that, Jimmy. We were talking about it was just like additional things, I guess, added to the controllers. Like PlayStation's kind of always set that bar. I feel from the PlayStation Two, I'd say, with its Dual Shock, right, that came out. Because that was
Yeah.
Yep.
obviously yeah, right. That was a big deal. Like I was saying before, the N64, you had to put in a special cartridge just so it would rumble for you. You know, like there wasn't
Yeah. Oh
much
my
Yep.
that
God, I
was
totally forgot that. Yeah. That
Good
right.
totally
old
You had
makes
to
Rumble
pay
sense.
Pack.
extra,
The old Rumble Pack.
pay an extra for such a basic feature.
Just so you could be
um,
like, ooh, my hands vibrate.
yeah, right. And
Uh,
then, like I said, me, like I was shocked at the PS4 and having a little speaker in the controller. Like that was really neat. Yeah, they always do really neat stuff. That's a good
that
shout out
speaker
too.
scared the shit out of me the first time when I got my PS4. I was playing Resogun because that was
Oh
one of like
yeah.
the launch games, and like I plugged it in, set it all up like after midnight or whatever, because I went, to like the midnight release of the console, and as soon as I said, and it's like defaulted at max volume on the controller. The lady's voice comes over the controller, scares the absolute shit out of me. I almost threw the controller through the fucking window. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I wasn't expecting it. It's just, yeah, that was a wild time.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I can relate to that for sure. I don't think I was playing anything that was like scary though. It was just loud. And I was like, where's that fucking coming from? So there's like
Right?
this speaker in the controller. I was like, what speaker? And I'm like looking at the controller, like, what the fuck? Where? And he had to come over and show me and stuff. And then I felt stupid, but it's okay.
No, it's the same way. The first time I was playing it too, I kind of looked. I was like, "But how? How does this
Right?
work?"
Didn't you understand? Because he's like, it's from the speaker. Like, no, there is no speaker. He's like, yeah, it's right there. I'm like, right where? It was so funny. I was probably high, so I really didn't pay attention. I was like, what? Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, exactly. I keep hearing it twice. How? What is happening? Oh my god.
I'm wondering if you
Oh.
feel the same, because I brought up this gripe earlier, besides the battery life, because the battery life could always be better. But the D-pad is like one of the only issues I feel with the PlayStation 5 controller. Like I
What do you
kind of
mean?
miss like a good solid D-pad where like there's not like wiggle room with it. Like sometimes I feel like I can hit down and sometimes will register as like left or a little bit to the right, depending on where I hit, like on the down. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's it's almost less of like a I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
I
But
don't
I mean,
I don't think I have a problem with mine.
yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to test it next time I'm. Well, I mean, I'm playing on it now, but I'm not using that for anything. I just tried, but it it went where it was supposed to.
I notice it more with like 2D platformers or fighting games.
Okay. Let's see.
Just
What's
that
the last
like
game I played?
I don't
Tekken.
know if maybe I'm
Tekken
just
last.
pushing down.
No, no,
Yeah,
no. I
Tekken 8
No,
see.
got a release date.
It has a release date.
Yeah, it's in
What's the?
January.
Did you hear that? BFF, if you're still there, Tekken 8. Let's go, fucker.
Might be January 26th or something like that. 24th. I don't know. It's somewhere around there though. Late January. Looks good too.
Like the last time. Okay, so I let Ifrashis play Tekken. I just like share played, and he was just in my stream playing Tekken while I was making dinner. It was the best fucking time. I wasn't doing
That's
anything.
awesome.
I was just chatting with chat and cooking dinner while he was kicking ass and getting me trophies. I was like, bet, what's up? It was a good time. I was like, we should make
Yeah, I'm
this
gonna
like a
need someone
Monday
to beat Akuma for me.
thing. Right? Help, Mayday.
Oh
And then
my
he went
god.
shopping. We got my chick all sexified. Yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
Jimmy, I was wondering, like, when you bring up earlier, I think, I don't know if it's the same for you. We were talking about, like, the Xbox versus the PlayStation controller. And I think what I like about, I think what makes the PlayStation 1 stand out is having those two dual sticks at the bottom, as opposed to, like, the left and the right side, and having the D pad, next to the, what do you call it, the right hand joystick.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if that's. I don't know, I'm just holding it, just like, huh, why do I like this more? And I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's the reason why I like the PlayStation 1 a lot more. Because it's always had that same design, right? Like, they've always been down in the left to right corner.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I think
And
Yeah.
it
then
just
you get
makes sense.
Xbox has it offset.
Yeah, right? I'm going with that. That's why I like it more.
Yeah, it just makes sense. That's why.
Yeah, I'm about it. I mean, you don't really need to twist my arm to agree that I love the PlayStation controller.
And I get to like for your fighting thing as well. I think like when it comes to fighting games, it's like a different element. Like we were kind of talking about the N64 controller, like just how you hold it, because
Yeah,
you use the D-pad a lot more, right, in a fighting game than you would in most any other game. So it makes
yeah.
sense why that placement probably feels weird for you.
It's
By the
just
way,
like it just doesn't feel like, I don't know, I guess separated, like each direction.
yeah,
Like I like a more precise, like if I hit down, I don't want it to accidentally move down left. Like you would think it'd be fine the way it's set up, but I don't know. I feel like I didn't have that issue on like PS3, PS2, PS1 controller. Those are all essentially the same design. So
Does it do it with all of your controllers? I mean, I'm assuming you have more than one. Does it do it with all of
yeah,
them or just okay?
yeah, I noticed it. And it's not like I don't want to
Super
like
noticeable?
exaggerate it. I don't want to say it happens every time, but like I don't know if once in a while I just hit too hard on it, and because I don't want to say it's floaty either, but like it's a little. I don't know. I'm at a loss for the right words to say about it, but it definitely is noticeable in certain situations where, like, I don't know. I
Is it
mean,
only noticeable when you lost and you're like, fucking controller? I'm just kidding.
no, yeah,
I'm just
that would be
kidding.
pretty funny though.
The
It's like, yeah, I'm
controller
gonna
is
blame
what
it on my
made it.
controller. One of those gamerisms, you know. It was the
Totally.
controller.
Just
It
live
wasn't
on
me.
stream.
Right, it
Yep.
wasn't
I
me.
pushed left. You all saw it. I pushed left.
Right. That's when you're really mad and you have a witness at home. You're like, you saw what I did, right? Fuck.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I'll notice it with like certain things where, like, I don't know, like if I'm holding down to crouch and then all of a sudden my character starts walking left, like kind of like a crawl left. Depending, again, depends on the game, but it's things like that where I'm just like, oh, I want it to be more precise. And it's not like I have huge thumbs either, so it's like I'm not accidentally hitting down and left at the same time. It's just
Right.
like a weird, like I'm hitting where down is on my controller, and it's somehow registering I'm pushing down, to the left as well. Or maybe I just have bad luck with all the controllers I have. Maybe I should do a deeper dive on my controllers.
I would say buy like another one
Yeah,
and then just compare.
what's the 10th controller? Let's do it. Although that
Oh my
Spider-Man
god.
controller looks pretty cool.
Seriously, like I think I had like 8 PS4 controllers. And then two of them broke because we won't talk about how they broke.
Yep.
And then I sent one to Mindful and I sent one to Tommy, and then I still have 2, 3. Damn, I had a lot.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love that you sent me the one that's like see-through. I was like, man, this just brings back like old school memories. Like I
Oh,
love
I'm
that
so
design so much.
glad. I was so glad. That was one of my favorites, and I was like, eh. I couldn't part with the like all black one or the all like there's like a cyan colored one that I have. I was like, I couldn't part with those because CJ, my son, loves those. And like when I laid them all out in front of him, I was like, which one will you sacrifice? He's like, that one. I'm like, of course you would pick mine. Of course. Sure. We'll sacrifice it. That's cool.
Oh my god.
It's so cool though. Like I remember growing up, like everything being that design, right? You could buy like phones and like
I was just gonna say that, like
N64
the little
controllers.
house
Yeah.
phone that was like see-through. And, like it would light up when it rang.
Yeah.
I had one. I thought I was cool as shit.
I know, right? You know, you're so badass. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you like my phone?
The style will never end.
Oh
Um,
man.
we were saying earlier, Zichik, I'm not sure if you were the same way or not. Did you ever get to play on the N64?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So when it came to holding it, right? Were you like
No.
Jimmy and myself?
Like, how
And
did you hold it?
like, did you okay, like the little joystick in the middle?
Uh-huh.
Did you use like your thumb and your index finger and like sprawl your hand across the controller to guide it, or were you like, did you hold it in the middle and actually use your thumb on the joystick?
No. Option 1.
Oh,
You're,
sure. Okay, good. So we're kind of all the same.
yeah, like where
Yep.
you're all over the fucking hand and you look like you're trying to pinch like the tiniest little joint, right? You know,
So
yeah.
true. Yeah.
And you're
Yep.
just like, nobody bump me or it's fucking over.
I was telling Jimmy, it felt like you had so much more control that way than you did with just your thumb.
Right.
And now, like,
It would.
if you played with it now, how would you do it? Would you still do it like the comfortable way that you used to do, or would you try it with your thumb?
I would probably try it, but like I definitely think it would still be easier that way. Just I
Yeah,
don't know, it felt right. It just felt right holding it that way.
yeah, because otherwise it's like, what the fuck are you holding? Like, it just was uncomfortable. It was weird. Yeah, no, definitely hand all over it.
Yeah, I definitely had it from both sides. Like, because I knew people that would hold it from the middle to use that joystick, and I was like, why though? It just, to me, it just felt better, even though my hand was stretched out and like the thumb is barely just making it over to the joystick. It just felt better, and I could just use my middle finger on the Z, and I'm talking middle finger on the left hand, not even the right hand.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it was, and like you'd get done playing and like your hand would be so cramped up. It was bad, but it was
Super
great. It was a good
cramped up.
time. Oh yeah, that's the
I
only way
mean,
to
how
play.
else am I going to win Mario Kart? I have to be able to control that car.
Right. You can't be
Exactly.
spinning out all the time, guys.
Nope.
Oh god, yeah. I still stand by my point.
Love
It
it.
was funny on Twitter. I think Zichik saw that one too. The N64 controller ended up losing by like 87%.
Oh
Everyone
yeah,
agreed it
for
sucked.
sure. Everybody's like, "Fuck that controller." Actually, when I didn't even give Spider like the option, he was like N64. When I asked him what
Oh
controller
yeah.
set, his least favorite controller, he's like, "Oh, hands down, fuck that controller."
um, Jimmy, you haven't been on in a really, really long time, so I haven't gotten a chance to ask you this. I'll get something from Zichek while you think about it. But at the end of the podcast, right, we always do our little question. So take a little bit to think of what you want to do for it. We've had pretty much everything under the sun at this point. We've had favorite music, favorite childhood memory, dream job that they wanted, like etc. etc. It's been a lot, but if you could think of a fresh new one that you want to ask us at the end of the podcast, that would be perfect.
All
And
right.
while you're thinking about it, Z-Chick, because you never got a chance to say yet, what's your gaming week been like? What have you been playing?
I've been working a fuck ton.
Oh,
Um, so I played Genshin and I played what is it? My Time at Portia, Portia, I think is what it's called. It's a little like it's People Crossing, pretty much is what I'm going with.
oh,
It's like
really?
Animal Crossings, but people. And
That's cool.
yeah, it's free on the PlayStation, I think, right now. And I saw Bento, Box of Bento playing it like a few days ago. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking rock that game. So when I looked for it and I downloaded it, and then I was like, hey, that game you're playing, I'm gonna play it. He's like, sure, play it. You'll love it. You like Animal Crossing? I was like, I love Animal Crossing. So I played that and I ended up playing it for like 3 hours. And then I was like, I gotta go to bed. Because I get up at like 4:45 and I'm at work by 6. And I sometimes work anywhere between 4:30 and 6 p.m. So that's my work week. And then I played some Genshin tonight. And I've been playing a little bit. I'm playing Tower Fantasy right now while I'm chatting with you guys. Uh, and then that's pretty much what it's been. That's it. Nothing fancy.
That all that people no, that people it sounds really interesting though. I'll have to check that one out.
It's so
That's neat.
cute. It's so cute.
Yeah. I used to love the old Animal Crossing like on the GameCube. That used to be my biggest obsession. Well, my mom took that right over from me. The minute she tried it, I pretty much lost that game to her.
Oh, I
But
believe it. I believe it. I love Animal Crossing, and I love. So I don't know if you guys ever played like Virtual Villagers. It's an old PC game.
ooh, no, not that one.
Nope.
I felt like God because like you could with your mouse you could like pick up the little people and put them where you want them and like go fishing, go
Oh,
here, go to that, So it's like I'm a god. Anyways, I love that game, and so
that's so cool.
I feel like it's Animal Crossing and that game like mashed up, and now we have you know My Time at Portia, which is really People Crossing. Yeah,
Nice. That's pretty neat.
yeah.
And then in Genshin, were you able to finish up like that new area that you unlocked? Are you like
It's
pretty much all done now, or
so big. It's so big. I've
is
unlocked
it?
all the teleports that I think I've unlocked all the teleports so far. And I love swimming, like underwater swimming. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that actually looked really good
Like
watching
swimming
you
with
play
the
that part.
fishies, fighting the big fucking crabs is not fun, but they died. Um, it was just like learning the mechanics of how to fight because you can't like get weapons. You don't have your weapons obviously because you're in water. So you have to use like L2 on a certain type of animal, sea animal, and use that ability that they have. So if it's like a
Oh,
crab, then you get like it's more like a smash kind of hit, and if you use the stingray, then it's more like a slice. It's like really weird. So it was just learning
yeah.
those mechanics, and once I learned them, well, beast mode. But it's just learning those at first.
Yeah, no, I was really curious because I remember you had one of the guys there on your stream was saying that you could fight them, and I was wondering the same thing too. I was like, but how is she gonna fight when she's swimming?
Exactly. So like you use L2 and then it like kind of highlights the animal, and I think it's only like the blue, like you know how when you fight the Oceanid and Monset, I don't know if you fought the Oceanid yet, but it's like a water creature. Um,
Okay,
so like basically you highlight this water looking creature, and then it's either stone, stingray, or like the crab that lets you like smash. The stingray that lets you slice things, and then I think the seal that lets you do like pulsing, like sonar ability to like
yeah,
wreck shit. So I think those are the only three that I found so far that I can use. But like use certain
that's still
things
pretty
for
cool.
different things, yeah. So I like it. I'm digging it, but it's so
Yeah,
much bigger than like the other cities that I unlocked. I think you have to find like 400 of those little orby things, and God knows I haven't found that many.
and kudos to that game. That game really, I said, always finds a way to keep standing out
Yeah, and
with
the
each update.
like the new enemies, the new bosses. That's all super cool.
Yeah, definitely been one of the highlights of getting the PlayStation. Is just finally be able to play that game. I've really enjoyed it too. It's good. Kitchen's damn good.
I love it. I started a modded Skyrim run like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't been able to go back and play it because I've been working a lot. Um, and
Yeah, you said you really enjoyed it, right?
I freaking loved it. I was like, what? So cool. And it's my first time playing with any kind of mods, but like I just like how it looks, and the cities are updated and stuff. Villages, my bad, but they look really cool. And some of the guards like have all new armor and shit. So I don't know. I like it. I look forward to getting back to that hopefully this weekend.
I know once I like finish the main quest in Skyrim, I really want to try some of those out too. The ones I really always thought were funny were like the really ridiculous ones. Where is it? I think it's like the dragons get changed into Thomas the Tank Engine. Um,
Oh my god,
yeah, just
yeah.
Love
like
that.
dumb crap like that, right? Yeah, like
So
it just seems like that'd be like a lot of fun.
there's a Star Wars mod where like you can have lightsabers.
Oh,
But somebody told me, I think it's Jedi that told me that it doesn't work or it'll crash your system or some shit. I don't know. But
oh, that's too
I'll have
bad.
to look for one of those cool ass mods. I
Yeah,
haven't
that'd be
even went.
so badass.
Wouldn't that be so cool? Yeah. There's lots of mods. Like when you go into the mod tab, it's like, holy shit.
And that was a big deal too, like
There's
for
so much now.
consoles to finally get that. Like that was huge.
Yeah. I was like, yes, finally.
I'd have to have like two separate files because like the trophies get disabled when you put the mods on, which
Yeah.
is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'll just have to get all the trophies first.
So you can turn mods off, and then like, so like what I have, I have one playthrough where it's unmodded that I'm still doing. And so when I load into that, before I load into that, I have to go into mods and turn off, like disable all mods. And then you can load in to your unmodded save. And then your trophies and everything are fine.
Oh, that's
You
good
just
to
have to
know.
remember to unmod.
Okay. I was
Because if
curious,
you
yeah.
unmod, then, because then, yeah, you can go back and, turn on mods and go into your modded save and play that.
No, it's good to know, C-Check. Yeah, I was curious if it would just like screw you over permanently once you started modding.
Yeah, so like if I log in right now and I just like go into like my normal playthrough without turning off mods, then I've fucked that playthrough. But as long as I turn off mods, I'll be good. And that I was really scared to like do mods before that, because I was afraid I was gonna screw up everything or whatever. But yeah, everyone told me, as long as you turn off mods, you'll be good. I was like, okay. And now I haven't gone back to that playthrough because like I'm gonna, am I gonna fuck it up?
That's so good though. I'm glad you got like
But
another way to play like your favorite game. Kind of like, it's like a fresh coat of paint.
it is, right? It's like, hey. But I hate to dip out, guys. I'm gonna have to go to bed.
Oh yeah, no worries, Zichik. I'm sure it's pretty late for you.
Oh, it's been a
It's
pleasure.
really, it's really not, but pot dots need sleep.
Of course. Thanks, Zichik, for coming in,
It's
though.
happened. Yeah, no worries. Have a good time, guys.
You too. Bye bye.
You have a good night.
Bye.
Oh, Monsieur Jimmy, to be able to think of something you want to
Yeah.
ask.
I was gonna say, if you could have like a full year off of, from any responsibilities, work, blah blah blah, and there'd be no consequences, is there a series of games you would go back to back and go all the way through in that time? You know, like something in your backlog or something you always wanted to play through.
Oh, that's an excellent question. That's excellent. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah.
I was trying.
No,
I was like, I
that's
gotta do
really
something
good.
different.
Oh, and you're right because there's just there's a lot of choices out there, especially with a whole year. You could really 100% those games.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
put
Oh
a
no,
huge dent in the backlog.
it's okay, Z Chick. Don't worry. I appreciate being able to come on. The worst part is my gut. The minute you said that, went to the Elder Scrolls series. Just because I always loved them. But
Yep.
as much as I hate to say, but and I know it's not going to be a popular opinion at all, but I've always enjoyed them, and I feel like if I had a full year to play them, I would just love it more than ever. Um, is the Far Cry series? I think that would be mine, and there's enough of them now too, where I could get like a really good um, chunk of each of them. And I always say this because I was talking about earlier with Tommy as well, because he was asking which Far Cry he thinks, or sorry, I think was worth him doing a playthrough, and I said number 4 at the time. But yeah, there's I mean, the second one I did enjoy a lot. The third one I really liked. The fourth one I'm in love with right now. Primal was a lot of fun. The little bit I got to play with you, Far Cry 6 was pretty good as well. I didn't get to try
When we
5.
finally got to
Yeah,
it.
exactly, right. But yeah, I don't know.
uh,
Okay, I don't know if you agree at all with this one. But I was telling Tommy, I think this would be if the next Far Cry series to come out. If this was something they could get a hold of, I think it would really make the game stand out. And sorry, Zichek, you have a great night too. Um, is if they manage to get the Nemesis system, because I think a lot of like what I enjoy in Shadow of Mordor, for example, is very similar to like what I enjoy in Far Cry, and that's like going into a camp and having different approaches and how you want to wipe out that camp or take it over. Same idea in Far Cry, right? You can go in there guns blazing, or you could go in there, slowly sabotage things along the way. Um, but yeah, like I think if they had the Nemesis system in the Far Cry series, it would really make it stand. Like obviously, if your main bad guy, that's always going to impact you, right? But just having like a lonely, whatever gunner turn into like a sergeant and then like a commander, or however terminology they want to use for it, I think that would be a lot of fun, and I think that would make it stand out. But yeah, my original answer for your question was Far Cry. I think Far Cry would be a really great series to just play throughout the year, and it's co-op too, right? So I can play with other people if I'm getting sick of doing the single player.
exactly. I mean, not all of them are, but there's definitely ones that I think like most of the newer
Yeah, like
ones.
4 onwards.
Because I know 5 has it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot 4 has it too. I got to play through 4. 4 is one of the ones I haven't beaten yet. And New Dawn, I think I haven't beaten yet. And I haven't beaten 6. But pretty much all the other ones I've beaten. Primal's still probably one of my favorite ones. That one was just so much fun.
That's what I told Tommy.
It really
I said,
was.
I know Primal will get like a lot of picks as far as the one you should be playing, but I told him I don't know. 4 just kind of really blew me away. I'm still going through it, and I said last time I played it, the arena was the last thing I unlocked, and that one I was shocked. I was that was a really nice surprise feature I didn't know that one had. As far as like upgrading weapons and stuff goes, because you're able to go.
Now, you brought up an interesting point. I'm going to pull a you. You brought up an interesting point,
What's
and it's still within the Ubisoft wheelhouse, but the Nemesis system being in Far Cry made me think the Nemesis system being incorporated into like Assassin's Creed. I mean, the Shadow of Mordor game already has some Assassin's Creed style gameplay, right?
okay?
So just it would be interesting to have that, and I know that like, say what you want about Ubisoft and their games and stuff, but I mean, I've had fun playing through the Assassin's Creed series over the years, and I thinking of like having one where you have, how they have like the order of like people in the newer ones where it's like the cultists and stuff like that,
Yeah,
where you take out the smaller people and it leads you to these larger people. What if that was like an ever changing thing where like it wasn't the same every time you went in? Like you could have, that nemesis system be in there, or like, like the order, like people rise up in the commands and stuff, and they, this lower person on the totem pole now just became like the head of this entire sanction of that, that order. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I like it. I like it.
Because then it would be like, okay, now you have to go and assassinate him, but like you still have to, go to the lower ones and like, you know, get your, interrogations to find out, it would just be a little different in that like you can't put your hand to someone's head and read their mind that way.
Yeah, but no, you're right. Yeah, because they could have, it might just be like a few guys guarding him, and then as he's going up the ranks, like obviously you'd have like a mass army almost, like protecting him in a different like fortress.
Yeah.
He could even be. Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be a lot of fun in Assassin's Creed.
Like, and if you fight him and you don't necessarily kill him, like that adds to that whole story. Because that was like one of the coolest things about that Nemesis system is like you get killed by, one of those orcs, he ranks up or whatever, and then like it affects what's going on. Like, like I told you that story of
Yeah,
I got killed by one, and then I was like roaming around and I was like hanging above where they were having like a fire, sitting around, and he was talking about how he took me out, like describing, the details, basically killing me, and I was like, that blew my mind, but then made it extra great when I jumped in and assassinated them right in front of everyone,
that's so good
and
that
they
you
were all
actually
like
killed him.
scared to death. It was awesome. It was so good. That was the other fun thing too, is like everyone had like different weaknesses and stuff, and that was fun to find out.
Yeah, yeah.
God,
Through
that
the
game.
interrogation, you're right. Like some of them were scared of those, like giant dogs. Yeah,
Caragors?
Caragors. Thank you. Or like fire or whatever the
Surprised I
case was.
remember that.
Yeah, that's a good memory, man.
I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was cool.
Find out I'm wrong and it's something else.
No, I think you are right. Yeah. Um, yeah, like I said, I feel it's to me. I know Cat Trooper explained to me how they basically own the rights to that system, which sucks. But yeah, there's so many games that would benefit from having the Nemesis system. It's a shame.
Yeah. It'd be awesome if they could like, I mean, even if that studio did it, like, they could do another game that has an evolved version of that, and just, I don't know, that was just so fun.
Yeah, right. Like I
I mean,
said,
I still have to play through Shadow of War, which part of me wants to replay Shadow of Mordor first, just to, refresh myself on it, because it really was one of those, like, this is amazing. This is such a good game.
yeah, like I said, going back in and playing it again, I'm still impressed. I'm still as happy as I was the first time I played it.
Mm. And every time you got new abilities, you actually felt like you were getting stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's what I was telling Tommy. Like I said, he saw me playing a lot of it. And I was like, like that was just like one chunk of how to like approach a base or whatever. I said I could have gone in there and poisoned their drinking what do you call it, beer or whatever the orcs were drinking in their bases.
Yeah.
And you kind of just watch from the rooftop, right, as they all slowly die from drinking that poison. Yeah, it's just I don't know. There's so many different ways to like kill enemies. It was a really neat game.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome.
Okay, I feel like I know what your choice is gonna be, Jimmy, but I'm gonna always love to hear it because it's always an excuse to hear you rant about your favorite series. But what would yours
Well, I
be?
was thinking about it. I was thinking about it because it was like, do I spend that time playing through series I haven't played through, or do I spend that time? I mean, a year's a long time,
It is, yeah.
so like you really could do a bunch. I mean, I would. I mean, we already know the answer is I would play through Resident Evil again. Um, all those games, but at the same time, I've always wanted to play through all Star Ocean games.
Oh,
I've
okay.
only ever really played like the technically it's the second one, but we like back in the day on the PS1 we didn't have the first game until they like remade it and brought it to the PSP. Um, so that was like my only experience with Star Ocean for the longest time. I never picked up like the PS2 ones. Um, I just never really like I was probably too busy playing Final Fantasy. I was pretty basic. But yeah, like I always wanted to play through that whole series. I know that there's like multiple endings and stuff. Um, so I could see like going through that, like having a year to be able to play all that like nonstop and getting to like really get the full experience, all the different possible outcomes and stuff. Um, another a series I would play through again would definitely be the Yakuza series because those
Oh,
games are
that's a
just
good pick.
that's a lot of that's a lot of game.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good mafia style, you know, drama kind of thing. Just Japanese.
But yeah, it's
Those games so entertaining all the way through because not only that, but they have so much like side stuff you can do and like each one like you can go to arcades in those games and play like one of them has like Virtua Fighter 2. You can go to an arcade and play Virtua Fighter 2. So it's like you're playing a game within a game,
yeah, no, that's a good pick.
which you know kind of reminds me back in the day playing Animal Crossing on the GameCube when you'd get like the NES games in there,
Yep.
put in your house. You could actually play those. That was really cool.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Like even like the minute you mentioned that, I was like, yeah, Grand Theft Auto would be another good one too to play throughout the year. Because yeah, you could be serious about it,
Yeah,
or you could just go off and do whatever really and have fun. Like,
right. The problem is, it's just so many games. Like, I feel like if I did get like a year, it would literally be like, all right, I've got to. First of all, they have to halt all new games coming out because I would need that year to catch up. I would play a bunch of backlog games, and like at this point, I have to just kind of dismiss like Sega games, Nintendo games, like the old school, you know,
yeah,
like NES, Sega Genesis, stuff like that. Like those just have to just not be counted. I'm talking, I think, from like PS1 era on. I think that's where I would start my backlog cleanup because going further beyond behind that would be a little rough.
plus
There's just so many games.
I think your selling point too on that one, at least for me, what clicked was picking a game with multiple endings. I like that idea too. Because yeah, if you're gonna be stuck playing something, you might as well have a lot of replay value out of that game.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's a good pick, Jimmy.
Like I could play Worms, but I don't think I'd play a full year of just Worms, you know? Like
Well,
unless the caveat was that like, you know, you can choose a friend to go there with for a year, then that would change everything completely.
so true.
Be a lot of co-op action.
Oh, well, thanks, Jimmy. That was a good one. I like that question. I'll have to
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
I'll have to bring that one up again too. We got a little more people on. That's a good one.
Yeah,
um,
that'll be an interesting one day how people have to say for that.
Well, thank you for balancing out Armor Core and having a long conversation with me. I appreciate it, buddy.
Anytime, you know that.
But yeah, I hope you have a good night. I hope you enjoy the rest of your gaming time.
You too, buddy. You too.
See you later, bud.
Later.
Um, and then, sorry, I saw your thing there, Django. I am so sorry your laptop made you that upset. Aw. I just saw broke like a guitar. Was it? Yeah, broke like a stage guitar. I was like, oh no, what happened? But I get that. I get pretty frustrated sometimes with technology as well. So there's quite a few times I wish I could just break my Chromebook, but I need it, so gotta put up with it. But yeah, for the rest of you guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Once again, thank you, Z-Chick, for hopping on. I appreciate it. And as always, Jimmy, you are an amazing individual. Thank you for staying on for so long and having a big conversation with me about pretty much everything. We really dabbled into quite a few topics tonight. Um, yeah, man, a whole year to play games. That's a damn good question. But yeah, I hope the rest of you guys have a wonderful night. I will keep grinding my little tushy, trying to get those podcast episodes uploaded, to YouTube. I am now 3 behind again because there'll be this one added onto the list. So hopefully I can push myself to get 2 done this week. It's just hard. Just honestly hard. I don't get enough time to put into it. So I might have to just keep sacrificing the amount I add into the podcast as I'm editing and just focus more on editing it quick to get it caught up again. And then once I'm caught up, then I can really tinker around and add more, what do you call it, GIFs or clips into the videos. Like Cat Trooper suggested a while back. Maybe right now I just need to focus on some basic editing and just streamline them, get them up and down with. We'll see. I say that, but then the minute I start editing, I'm like, I want to throw this in there. I want to throw this in there. I also still have a food video I need to put out for you guys. I haven't eaten any of the snacks yet, but there's a whole bunch of Japan snacks I got from Cheyenne, and some state snacks as well that I got to eat and upload. So, gotta get that done pretty soon. And then right away, we're going to be starting September, which is my sub event for September. Sorry. Where every 2 subs gets a piece of chicken, and the goal will be to eat an entire bucket of chicken in one sitting. So I'm really excited for that one. And then after that, we got the October event where I just play horror games all month. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely be playing through a lot of Resident Evil, I think, for Mr. Jimmy, because he's waited a long time for this kind of event. Hopefully I get Silent Hill too. I always wanted to play Silent Hill. So that'd be another fun one to get just for that month. And then we slowly progressed into the award show, which I posted on the Discord. So mods, don't forget to check out the board room, so we can get a few ideas floated around. I want to get that launched as soon as possible, so people have a good 3 months to do their voting again. And yeah, that's my rambles. On Friday, I was supposed to play Tommy, so we'll see a game he wants to play with me on Friday. And then Monday, I have another Apex match with 2-6 because I owe him 1 extra community day night, because the last one kind of flopped thanks to the update that Apex needed, which took like an hour and a half. But yeah, I hope the rest of you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will catch you all next time. Bye!